Okay, well, I think we have enough people to probably get going. So, again, I want to thank those of you who joined. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is William Howe. I'm the sales director for Canada here at Glue Up. And I know this is a North American demo or discussion on the platform about how to run associations smarter through tools. Typically, when we do these, we have someone from the US team do it because the US market is obviously much larger than the Canadian market, but the marketing team thought we should switch it up and have someone from Canada do it. So I'm going to use some examples as well, and they'll mostly be Canadian examples just because it's my region and my focus. I'm based here in Toronto, and I guess one thing to note is that Glue Up is really a global company. So we have an office here in Toronto. We have offices across the world. The platform is available in multiple languages. Here in Canada, that's helpful because we have both English and French. But in the US market, there's also Spanish as well as other languages if there are associations or chambers that are related to different languages. You have the ability to potentially work in those languages. So that's an availability that Glue Up offers to everybody across the board, and one of the benefits of being a truly international organization. So just to give you a little bit of background about Glue Up, and I'm going to start by going through some slides, and then I'm going to take you through an actual account, a demo account. We'll go through and hit on kind of the key points and really the main benefits of moving to a modern tool like Glue Up. When you think about running associations smarter, the thing that I think is the most important thing is the all-in-one component to it. The fact that you're going to do everything in one association management software really drives a lot of benefit as far as understanding what's going on within your organization. And we'll get into that by going through some slides quickly to give you an overview as well as the actual platform. So just from a perspective about Glue Up, um, Glue Up started in 2013. It started as EventBank. We renamed it Glue Up in 2020 to be encompassing of all the things that the platform does. I mentioned that we're international across the board, but it's going to allow you overall to manage your engagement with a true all-in-one. And we're looking at some screenshots here of what the sort of UX design looks like within the platform. But you're going to be able to do the membership component. You're going to be able to do email marketing, so sending out your newsletters. There's a CRM component of the platform that allows you to be able to create opportunities and tasks. And we even are constantly developing that. We have an Outlook integration now that allows you to be able to see emails that have gone to different members or different contacts within the CRM component. There's analytics tools. We have mobile apps. There's the event management component of the platform. I know I'm throwing a lot of things at you, but I'll get into each of them and show you specifically kind of how they all work as well. So this is where we're starting at. We have over 1,500 organizations using the platform in 70 different countries. Some of these are big names that you'll recognize. Most of these are US in nature. There's some international in here as well to show. This is a slide that often gets showed to the US or the US by the US team, but constantly growing the customer base and just shows all of the confidence that exists within this platform. So one of the things about sort of the membership management component, and ultimately memberships are often at sort of the lifeblood of an association. It's sort of the first major thing that you need to be able to do is manage the membership process. And one of the best things is that you're able to manage the membership workflows. So the whole process of getting a new member, having them fill out the application, making the payment, having the membership start, providing them that welcome email, and then the touch points through email campaigns and the expiration notices, or if you're going to do auto renewals on membership, all of those things can be done within Glue Up, and they just simplify that membership process within the platform. You can also get data related to membership insights as well, as far as understanding what's going on with your membership, any opportunities that you're chasing that are out there. If you're looking for industry segmentation, what's going on with the product catalog, you're able to have all this information related to membership within the platform as well, which is really helpful for understanding what's going on within your membership. This is the event dashboard. So The event module within GlueUp is really easy to use. You're going to start with 10 templates, and you're able to manipulate those templates to get as specific as you want as far as matching the colors and the scheme of your organization from a branding and marketing perspective. Each of the templates have a different sort of flavor to them. So if it's a monthly mixer that you're doing as far as member engagement versus a 3-day conference, there's templates that align with both of those things based on what you need. But you're also able to understand and evaluate from a micro level what's going on within your events. What happened with all the event tickets that sold, what percentage of people actually showed up within that as well. And then part of that is that you're able to do an on-site check-in as well, as far as checking people in once they register for the events. You can do a QR code, or you can use the QR code technology as well. So you can scan people with a QR code versus actually just having a computer check-in with somebody there. But both are available. There's badge printing available. So all of the sort of things that you would come to expect of being able to run a professional event, you're able to do on GlueUp. Email campaigns works like sort of any email marketing builder. It's really easy to use as far as drag and drop with what it's going to look like. You can use custom HTML when you're actually building this out as well. One of the great things about using an all-in platform like GlueUp, because you're going to do your contacts and all of the sort of CRM component within the GlueUp platform, it allows you to do something that is called a smart list. So if you want to have a list of people that say like, any new organization that joins your association and you want to have like all of the senior people, like the C-suite people, or if you want to segment out certain kinds of people that have joined the organization, you could create a smart list so that's automatically updated. So when you're going out for campaigns, you don't have to go and create a new list. That list is a living list that you're able to utilize as well. And it allows you to keep in control of your communication, looking at the email analytics as well, to be able to understand suppression lists, what your subscription management's looking like, what your open rates are, what your click rates are within this. It allows you to have a full understanding of what's going on with the email communication that you send out for the campaigns, for your newsletters, and the things that you need to do as an association. We also have a website solution that's available. That's a professional association website that's been created by our developer. He works with each individual customer that wants a website to be able to create that website for them. It's a template that he's created that's ideal for associations. But you don't have to have the website as well. We'd like to have flexibility. We know that some organizations want to be very specific about the look and feel of their website. It's a very important thing and a very personal choice with how you want to run your association. So it's an option we make available. The solution that we provided customers, we think is a great solution, but also there's widgets to connect the platform in to whatever website you've created. Here in Canada, I've had a few customers now who have come to me that say like, we want to use GlueUp because the website solution that we're going with recommended GlueUp to us. So there's sort of that partnership too. If you want to get really specific about what your website might look like, then embedding GlueUp into that website to be able to have all the functionality that the platform offers. And sorry, my voice is coming and going. I'm getting over a flu, so I might just have a sip of water here as well. So there is a community hub for when members log in. And so within this, your members are going to be able to log into the platform and they're going to be able to see things like a member directory. There's going to be event information. There are going to be communities that they're a part of. They don't have to be a part of every community that's created. You could create communities specifically for some groups of people that or some of your membership, but not all of your membership. So an example of this would be a small organization that might want to create something just for their board of director community, where just their board members are part of it to be able to have discussion on next meetings or meeting minutes and have all that available. This is an add-on feature, but it's a very popular feature that most of our customers take to be able to have that online engagement component of what your association is doing, not just the in-person stuff. And this is a reflection of the apps that exist. So all of your members are going to be able to download the GlueUp app and they're going to be able to access their profile and the community and the events that they've registered for within the GlueUp app. You can white label this, which is a really powerful branding opportunity to be able to make it look like you've created your own app for your organization. And then in addition to that, there's a manager app that allows you to manage what's going on within your association as well. So that's just for your back end organization to be able to manage attendee information, on-site payments, real-time statistics, and things of that nature. So that's the presentation. I'm going to scroll out of this and actually go into the platform and give you some examples of what this can look like so everyone can see the actual platform while I do that. Give me a second to minimize my screen, and then we will come into this. Okay, let me know when you all can see my my desktop. Okay, here we go. Full screen. So where we are now, we're in this North American demo account. So we give customers sometimes quick access to this to actually play around in the system. So we'll see a little bit of test 1, 2, 3 because we do give people access to this because we want people to feel confident in the choice that they're making when they make the decision to potentially go with GlueUp. So when I look at this dashboard here, so the first thing to point out, I'm going to scale this down here, is I can modify this dashboard. So each backend user can have a different look and feel as far as what information they're seeing. So if you have somebody who's more concerned with what's going on with membership, because you have a membership director, and they want to see only information related to membership when they open or when they log into the platform, they can do that. Versus someone else who might be more concerned with what's going on with payments, they can pull up this information instead. So when they log into the platform, the information in this dashboard is the information that they want to see that's important to them. On the left, these are all the modules of the platform. I'm going to talk really high level about each of the modules. Then I'll get into the specifics of how each of these things works, and I'll show you some examples quickly, although I'll be mindful of time. So the emails, the tasks, and the contacts are all part of the CRM component of the platform. So the emails is the Outlook integration that I mentioned in the presentation. This is different from the campaign module, which is down here to be able to send out newsletters. We are working on a Google Gmail integration that we will have next year because we're constantly evolving and improving the platform. So it's not just the Outlook ecosystem, although that's where we focus first. And so the tasks are similar to being able to create opportunities as well, which will show up in an opportunity sales funnel here. Your contacts can be both individuals and companies, and they're going to be your members as well as non-members. So you can have in here organizations you're trying to get to join your association that you're then maybe sending out specific campaigns to try to get them to join. Or you can have in contacts here that are also not members. You could have in government officials. You could have in people that you're trying to get to sponsor the events that you have that aren't necessarily members of your organization as well. The events module is as it sounds. So you can create both offline and online events when you're creating events. It's an amazing Eventbrite replacement. It's really easy to use. You're just going to follow along the steps. I'll show you what some events look like on a couple of customer websites so you can get a sense of what that looks like. And if we have time, we'll go and actually create an event. The campaign module is as it sounds. So it's the newsletter builder within the platform. And you're able to get very specific as far as what you want those campaigns to look like. In addition to being able to send out campaigns, you can send out surveys as well. So you can get feedback from members on what do they think of your organization, what do they think of the policy initiatives you put forward, and what do you think of sort of the things that you guys are doing overall as an organization. It's important to note that the event module has a survey component as well. So anytime you send out an event, you can also send out a post-event survey as well to get feedback on the event specifically. Like, what did you think of the speakers? What did you think of the meal? What did you think of the timing? Anything we could do different? And that's important feedback to get to always be building better events, which is helpful. The membership side, you're able to create both individual and corporate memberships. On the corporate membership side, you're able to create membership limits or member limits to say like small, medium, large organizations when you're doing the setup for this. And there's ability to gatekeep membership as well, which is really important for some customers. So If someone signs up to be a member and you're a professional association, you need to review that they actually are accredited or who they say they are before they've been accepted to be a member. You can turn on an approval process that allows you to approve or decline those memberships before they make the payment to become a member, to add that step in when you're actually doing the setup. The finance module, I'm not going to get into too much detail with. I'll tell you that we have some accounting software integrations. Within Canada, QuickBooks Online is much more popular than Xero, but we do have integrations for both of those softwares. They're both very popular. We have different payment gateways depending on which region of the world you're in. So within Canada, our payment gateway is Stripe, and it's a standard Stripe account. So it's your Stripe account, and we integrate it into the platform for you. So you're able to take all kinds of online different payments for events and for membership when you're doing the setup. And the communities module, and this is usually where I start, because on the back end of the platform, you're able to set up different communities that have different access for different members. Because when your members log in, there'll be a log in your website, and what they're going to see is they're going to see this home screen, and it looks like a LinkedIn meets Facebook when you log into the platform here. And I'm saying that now it's moving a little bit slowly, probably because we're in a Zoom webinar, but I'm sure this will open in a second. Huh, it's weird. Well, if it doesn't open, I'll just kind of explain it and then we can talk through it or maybe come back to it. So, yeah, let's just come back to it. So, let's start with the membership component. And I'm going to show you an example of kind of what a membership can look like or the membership process. So, here in Canada, we have this nursing association. It's a provincial nursing association in Manitoba. If I come here to look at the different types of memberships that they have, depending on whether or not you're an RN, a registered nurse, or a nurse practitioner, or if you're retired or if you're a student, they have different price points depending on what kind of member you are. And they've created all these different membership types within the platform. So in here, if I'm clicking on this membership, it takes me to the membership selection. So in this selection, I'm able to see what I'm getting with the membership. They've got an invite a friend here. I can see that there's the tax built into this as well. So I can see the total price of this. I see the duration discount that they've created here as well. If I click on apply, it's going to take me to the information component, so the application details. This stuff up front, the first name, last name, email, password, these are all things that you have to have. They're required to be able to set up a GlueUp account. After that, you can get as specific as you want. So if you want to ask questions around and they are immediately, what's your license number? Like your nursing license number. That's a custom question they've obviously created in the setup of this membership application. And then if I scroll down, they're using more generic stuff like phone number, address, city, province, postal code. And then again, they're getting specific. Just say like years of practice, role, area of practice, what part of Manitoba do you work in? It's created this drop down note to be able to get this information to the platform so that they have it to understand different pieces of information around their membership of their association. And so once I'd gone through and I filled all this out, it would take me to making the payment detail. When I described before, you have the ability to turn on an approval process here, which would then fill out the application. You would get the application, review or decline it, then make the payment. A lot of professional associations will have that. I guess there's just too many nurses in the province of Manitoba for them to turn that on, but it is an option that's available to you when you're doing the setup. If I come back into the platform and here we go. Oh, it did take me into the member portal area after all. Okay, so let's do the member portal area because I am here. So when you log into the member portal, so the LinkedIn meets Facebook component here, I'm going to see a list, almost like a news feed of different posts that have happened in chronological order. I can see all of the communities that I'm a part of here. So there's quite a few communities that I am a part of in this. If I just click on one of these communities, it's going to pull up the information here. So I'm going to be able to see like what the point of this community is, what's in the about section. I can see the other members of the community. And so each person can post to the community. As an admin, I can pin a post to say like, here's the point of what we're doing here. And then as an admin, I should also point out I can turn off commenting, I can remove a post, but then after that, all the posts happen in chronological order. But with each of these posts, people can like, they can comment, you can create conversation. So if I'm giving you an example of how some customers really use this, I'll see people use this as a job board. So they'll create a job board community and then they'll be able to have people come in and then write a post, say whatever they want here in the description of this post, and then upload a file, maybe a PDF with the actual application for people to have that. I've seen people use this for their boards to be able to have a place for their boards to be able to communicate. I've seen customers use this where they're segmenting different membership. So if you have different professions within your association or different regions within your association and you want to create regional groups, this is a great way to do that. I've also seen customers use this as a file repository. So to have a community really where you're just sharing files with your members, so your members are able to then have all these files that they need to have, and so they can come and get all the information here that they need to be getting. In addition to the communities, what else is here? There is a member directory that exists. People can see the events that are listed here as well. I can see events that I've registered for. I can see upcoming events here as well. I can see the status of my membership and the details related to that. I could download PDF invoices from this membership to be able to have that information here as well. I can also subscribe to newsletters. I can join myself on committees, and I can store information on a wallet to be able to purchase tickets in the future. In addition to that, if you're going to do auto renewals with membership, it's important to have this information, your credit card information, stored with the wallet so that the auto renewals will be able to hit. With that said, members are notified before the auto renewal membership so that they are given that opportunity, which can be turned on in the workflow of your membership component. So if we come back into the dashboard here, and I'm going to kind of hit on the membership component of what we talked about. So the different membership types that can be created, they're created here. You can create both individual or corporate memberships, depending on the type of membership. The corporate memberships can have a member limit that you're assigning to them. You can then use an application form so that links to the different membership types you've created. Each application form can go to a different membership type. So if you had a student application, you could then use that for a student membership versus using a generic application for all of it. And these are the system email templates that you can turn on to help manage the process of your membership within your association. So all of these are available to you to automate, to be able to send out, to be able to keep that touch point live with your membership in the process. If I scale back out of here and go back to the home, and then I go into the contact component of the platform, just so you get a sense of what this can look like as well. So in the contacts, there's dashboards all throughout the platform that are available to you. So the contacts here, I can see and I can modify this dashboard to be able to see different pieces of information to be able to have this. And then in the contacts, I can have both individuals and companies. So if I just look up a name and I'm looking at myself here within the system, and there should be a few fake versions of me in here. The first one that comes up here is, see how this person has this sort of halo around it? It indicates that this person is a current member of your organization. So if I click on this individual, it's going to take me to information related to them. I can see activities. If I had the Outlook integration, I can see emails that have been linked here with this that would show up. In addition to the activities here, on this individual, I can see the profile. I can add a note to a profile. I can create tasks. So if we need to have a follow-up around a membership expiration, I could create a task name, create a task type. We're gonna have a phone call when it needs to be done. And then I can actually assign it to somebody else within my organization. So if somebody else has that relationship, I could actually assign it to them to do the follow-up, put a task note, create a task, and now that will show up in their list of tasks of things that they need to follow up with. Same ideas with opportunities. You could create an opportunity and you can link it to an opportunity board that you've created. So these can be for membership, they can be for sponsorship. They're up to you as far as you're creating them. And then in addition to these pieces of information, and this is kind of the best part about GlueUp and why you're running an association smarter with an all-in-one platform, I can go in and look at an individual and see overall their overall level of engagement. So I can say like, okay, over the last all time or the last 30 days, how or 90 days, how many events is this person registered for? Did they show up to the event? Are they subscribed to any of my newsletters? What's the status of the campaigns I've sent out? What's the open rate? What's the click rate? How much money have they spent with us? Because if somebody isn't opening my newsletters and they're not attending events, and I know this because I can see this on the individual basis, I might want to come in and add them to a list and then go and find a list that I've created. I can have something like my at-risk members list that I'm going to go out to and then send those people an email or an email campaign that says, hey, we missed you at the last event. Love to see you at the next event. Here's a discount code for the event. Or maybe I want to go out with a another campaign or a survey to my at-risk members to say, hey, we're surveying some of our membership. What do you think we could do better as an organization? What do you think we should spend our time more on? Should we spend more time on advocacy? Should we spend more time on networking events? Just trying to engage different members to be able to get feedback on what you're doing as an association. And you can actually take this step further. You can run an analytics report that will give you an Excel report of all the data related to all of your members and contacts to be able to say like, okay, let me see who my least engaged members are from a scoring perspective. And now I want to go and look up these people and create tasks that maybe my membership director is going to have a phone call with my 25 least engaged members to try to create more engagement with those members to understand why they're not as engaged as they could be. I know I'm supposed to leave 15 minutes for questions. I am going to hit events quickly just to give you a sense of what this can look like. So this again is another Canadian example. They're a builders association in the province of British Columbia. So they are Urban Development Institute. If I come and look at their upcoming events of what they're having, so they've created these events within GlueUp and they're just linking them to the platform. They've got a digging into the dirt behind construction that's happening. They've got events sold out here for an event in Vancouver. They've got another event in Victoria. They've got a walking tour. So I can see all the different events that they've created here. If I just click on one of these events here, this tax event they've created. So this is actually in the past, so I can't log into it now, but I can still add it to my calendar. I can see the event details. I can see the fine print. I can see the speakers that they've added in here. I can see additional resources that they've clicked on here to be able to do this. And it's just open to a microsite. So all this is created in GlueUp. Let me click on another one so we can actually see what a ticket looks like. So if I click on register now for this event that's been created in here, so you're going to be able to have different ticket types. I can have a member, a non-member ticket in the setup. It's important to note, and I'm going to say non-member ticket. So you can limit how many tickets someone's able to buy that's available within the platform. You're going to have to get first name, last name, email when anyone purchases a ticket. But then after that, you can ask any custom questions you want. So if you're doing something like a dinner and you want to know what meal selection they want, they're asking for things around how long you've been in this position to be able to get information and data points when people are signing up. So you can get very specific in the setup of this when you're actually creating the membership attendee information, or sorry, the attendee information for the event ticket. In addition to that, we also can do group tickets as well. And so if you're doing, let's say, a golf event, you want to sell foursome, you can sell individual tickets as well as the foursome. If you're doing a bigger gala event and you want to sell individual tickets, but then you want to sell table tickets, that's available as well. So you can sell the table of 8 or 10, whatever you want the setup to be. And then we now have the ability to allow the person who purchases the ticket to be able to update and change the attendees as time goes on. So there was clearly an issue in the past a few years ago where members or someone would buy a ticket for a group ticket and not really know all the people that were going to be attending the dinner at the time. And so they'd have to email the association and make the update on the back end of the platform. Now the member has the ability, or the person who purchased the ticket, to be able to update that information themselves, which has taken a lot of stress off the back end of the platform. So this is just one of the templates that exist. They use the same template for both, but there are 10 different templates. You can get very specific as what the look and feel of each of these events is going to look like as far as meeting your requirements. If you're doing something like a conference and you want people to register for individual sessions within that conference, you're able to do this within GlueUp as well. And so that's a really easy component as far as how you're able to use the platform. But just coming back before I wrap up to the high level of running an association smarter. So because you're going to do your CRM component within this platform, because you're going to have in non-members in addition to potential sponsors, and because you're able to create opportunities and you're able to log emails and create tasks, it really allows you to focus on revenue generation within this platform based on what you need to do as an association in the CRM component of this. Because you're able to do events in the platform, it allows you to recognize who's a member and who's not a member to differentiate the ticket pricing on your website, which is a way to drive membership to say, like, okay, you're coming to our events as a non-member, maybe you should just think about becoming a member because you're seeing the difference in price when you're setting that up. It allows you to also do group tickets and allows you to see over time people's attendance of these events in the contact phase to see like which events are working, which people attend which events, and allows you to say like, okay, if we're doing a monthly mixer, but the monthly mixer gets the same 22 people out every month and we don't really make any money at this mixer, then maybe we should change the format versus, okay, we do the monthly mixer and we don't make any money at it, but it's different people every time. So it's important for membership engagement to do the mixer because although we're only selling 22 tickets, 150 different people have come to this over the last while to be able to have that understanding of what's happening. And then from a campaign perspective, it allows you to understand in here who's opening your newsletters, what their click rate is, how successful these campaigns are, and you're able to manage the campaigns through the smart lists by understanding all the different contact segmentation that you've built out in here in a way that allows you to really dive deep in the contact module. And then the membership component, which allows you to have multiple different membership types, understand the membership workflow, deal with the membership process, and align that with all of the things you're doing. The community's analytics just pull it all together to be able to allow you to create a seamless association experience by doing everything in one. So I know I was probably supposed to talk for a little bit less. My voice did not quite hold it through the entire way, but let me open things up for questions. Happy to take any questions that people have. Hmm. If nobody has any questions, we will leave it there. Um, if you want to learn more about how the platform works specifically for your organization or association, we can put you in touch with the right salesperson that can go through and dive deeply about how you would use it and have a conversation with that person to understand your needs specifically. Every association is a little bit different about how they might use the platform. Oh, there is a question. Are all these features part of a package, or can you pick and choose the features you need for your association? Some of the things I showed you are add-on features. The vast majority are a true all-in-one, so you get the advantage of it. So something like email marketing or the email campaigns versus the membership component or the event component, you can tier down how much of those allowances that you have, so you don't necessarily have to have it, and then it'll be reflective in pricing. But I do recommend to customers when they're like, well, I kind of like using the email marketing tool that we use now. You can keep it and you can use it, and you don't have to use the Glue Up product for that. But you're giving up some of the greatest benefit of the platform by not using the true all-in-one component of it to be able to understand, like, get all of the benefit of having an all-in-one. But yes, you can tier down the allowances if you're, in love with something that you use, but you love the UX design of Glue Up and the membership component and the CRM component, but maybe you want to keep using the event platform that you have. You have the ability to do that. No, there's no minimum number of members that you need to have. So in the pricing of Glue Up, it's based on allowances. So it's dependent on the number of contacts you're bringing into the system. We work with all kinds of very small organizations. It's just finding the right mix and pricing based on the use and allowances that you'll need for your organization. Any more questions? And just while, in case there are any more questions, I was saying that it definitely makes sense to reach out and set up a meeting with the appropriate salesperson from Glue Up just to understand the product a little bit better and understand your use case specifically. We have salespeople who understand the different product segments of the market of the association space. So it's really helpful to be able to have that deep dive. And one thing I always say here in Canada when I'm talking to different customers, regardless of where you're at with your current product, like even if you're like, we're kind of happy with what we have, it's okay. It's still beneficial to understand the market and understand what's out there. If you're running an association, you should understand the association platforms that exist to be able to like fully know exactly what it is that each product can do. GlueUp is an amazing product, and I think it's a really great offering of what we have because I do think the all-in-one component of it makes it so much stronger than some of our competitors in what we have and the design and the ease of use of the platform. But it's just good to know what's out there in general. So feel free to send a message. Would love to put you in touch with the correct person to be able to learn more about your needs specifically and how GlueUp can help you or how we could potentially work together to solve some of the problems that you're facing as an association. We'll just give it one more minute in case anyone has been thinking about potential questions that they might have or are wanting to ask it just before we end the stream. Let's see if anything else comes in. If this was just Canada specifically, I would say something about how excited we are for a big Blue Jay win tonight. But because I think this is a North America thing and maybe there's some people from Seattle, I won't say that. Okay, I think that that might be it. So I'm going to end this. Thank you all for attending. Sorry for my voice and some of the hiccups we had with that. But I do hope you get in touch and get an opportunity to learn more about how the platform can specifically work for you. Thanks a lot.